Yes, y'all, you are tuned in live right now to the 360 Chop Shop podcast. I'm yours truly, the host from the coast, your boy Khosmo. In the building, we got DJ Neato, Alan the Alias, and Knockzilla. And let us all welcome our special guest today, Maurice Mann, ladies and gentlemen. Man of Athletics in the building, y'all. What's good? What's good? What's good? Mr. Get Better, Get Beat himself. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm good, fellas, man. How's everybody doing over there?
Oh, man.
Really?
We good,
They're
man.
surviving.
Good. Neato.
Yo, Mo Man in the building, man. What's good,
my
bro?
guy. Man, you know it. You know it, big chilling, man. Just quarantining.
Yes, sir. I can dig that.
Yeah, so we're going to let everybody tune in right now. This is the 360 Chop Shop podcast. We just started this about, 4 weeks ago. This is episode 4 coming at you from quarantine. We are here live via Zoom, so make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you follow us. And we are going to be streaming on Anchor. We are going to be streaming on SoundCloud. We are going to be streaming on Spotify. So make sure you guys tune in and make sure you follow us on Instagram at the 360 Chop Shop. Once again, 360 Chop Shop. Make sure you follow that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So let's get right into it. Let's talk to our guest. How you doing today, Maurice Mann?
Man, I'm good, man. Hanging out, though, with the baby boy. We just had a little shindig, a little get-together, kind of had some family over. So it's been a good Sunday, man. It's been a fun day, actually.
Yeah, man.
It's hot today, man. Real hot today.
Congratulations on your new child. You know, just coming into this world not too long. Already beasting on the court and on the you over there just raising a monster right now, man.
Man, it's just, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm new to it, so man, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I mean, every second of it, man. I don't take it for granted though for a minute, y'all, because I've been waiting though for this moment though my whole life, but I'm more ready than ever though to be a dad. So
yeah,
I'm grateful.
Absolutely, man. It's always a blessing, man. I seen the video when you posted on your Instagram when you had him hanging from the rings.
Yeah,
he was just hanging from the rings like nothing. And how old is your child?
Well, right now he's 18 months though. He was probably just about a year though when he started doing all that stuff, and it's just kind of the influence though he gets though from seeing people, man, in that gym.
He be working that ladder. He got that footwork down, man.
He got the footwork down, man.
So he's gonna take that or his dad be the wide receiver. What you trying to train him to be? Receiver, tight end.
A strong, healthy, educated, tax-ready business mogul that knows how to play sports. You know what I mean? That all the sports stuff is great, man. But we gonna get ready though for this life, man. And he gonna understand, man.
Exactly.
Crazy moments though like this happen more than the football stuff can happen. So I need him to be prepared up though for everything. So. But in terms of sports, man, I'm gonna let him do.
Well, you got yourself a little champion in the making, man. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, thank you, Mo. Thank you, man. Man, it's fun.
So y'all played Moses. You guys were on the same Monterey High team, right? For varsity football.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, CCS champions, baby.
CCS champ, brother.
Nice. Okay, hold on. We gotta. CCS champions.
Let them know,
you was what, class of 99 or class of 2000? Because I'm 2001. I think you was a senior when I was a sophomore.
Yep.
Okay.
Dang, for real?
So I remember
were you like a couple years ahead in your grade?
One? What was I, one? Man, I'm ahead of Mo by 1 year.
Oh,
1 or 2.
1 year. Okay.
Yeah, one year.
1 year.
Oh yeah, I'm 2000. So you 2000 or 99?
2000.
I'm 2000.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 2001. So yeah. So I was a junior. You was a senior.
Yeah.
And then we went to CCS. Won that. I remember that because I remember that was my sophomore year when I got bumped up for the practice
you was
squad.
Playing up. Yep.
Yeah. I got bumped up from the JV to the varsity squad to play on to be, the little tackling dummies, for the varsity squad. Going to get, I had to sit there and block 5-a-side 2-pie, Man, I couldn't even touch that guy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Tupac was a beast, bro. And then
Ty was a monster.
Man, we had the squad. We had Antoine Vaughns as our quarterback.
Marcus
Suber was on that. Who else we had on that squad?
Von Calhoun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Stephen Koch was in that thing, man. We had Chris Hardy at the other receiver. We had Scott Lee. Man, we had a mean defense though. We had a crazy defense.
Speaking of Sky Yee, speaking of Sky Yee, we got to big up to the catch. The catch from Stephen Koch.
Seaside.
The Seaside game. Yeah, that made everybody Seaside mad. Monterey High was running that year, man. But man, those are the days. So we had a squad back then. We had a squad. We was under we had 3 coaches. We had Coach Cunningham, and then he left, right? Mm-hmm. And then we also had Buck Rogelman, then he left. And then we had Caniglio. That was the last coach that we had.
Yeah.
I think for your senior year.
Yeah.
But
that was one crazy game. May he rest in peace. This is one moment that I feel like, okay, Seaside probably should have won that game. Tony Alexander got an interception, man, in the end zone, and he ran out the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And then they called 2 points against them. So they called it a safety.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, oh my goodness, right, man? They called that play a safety, and that pretty much still helped us win, really.
Didn't I think before that though? Didn't they was it Barajas hit a field goal? He hit a field goal to like take the lead, and then that's when that safety happened. Yeah, and then that's when we I think on the kickoff the next possession from that, Brian Chambers ran it up. It's almost like the 30. I remember this. I was watching this from the sideline. Brian Chambers ran it up, got it to like almost the 50-yard line, and it was the last play of the game. Stevie Koch dropped back, scrambled a little bit, threw the bomb, hit Scott Yee on one-on-one coverage.
In the very back of everybody.
Very back of the end zone. Man,
crazy. I remember how upset Ray Sean was, man, and everybody was said they didn't want to shake no hands with us and stuff like that. It was hilarious, man. I still laugh over that game.
Yo, that was a very classy game though, because we could have easily ran up on Spartan Hill on them on those.
Definitely.
But it's all love. That Monterey High Seaside High rival goes back for generations to decades to even almost centuries, man. I mean,
and it's still going, right?
It's still going. Yeah. It's still going
and
hard.
It's getting better and better, man. Like back though how it used to be. I think the talent of football is that's probably a topic of conversation that I really want to speak about. But I feel like it's getting better, and I think it needs a makeover, So starting from the youth level, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something too, though. Like even now that what you're kind of, I guess I would say specializing in, right, is just training the youth, because I know just, my son, Jojo works with you at the clubhouse. And I mean, just seeing what you've done with a lot of the youth athletes around the area, it's been big, man. And I mean, I feel like, just to even have that credibility saying like, I train with Maurice Mann, it's, and knowing like what you've accomplished in your life and things like that, like, and how you're raising up this youth, it's amazing, man. It's dope.
I mean, DJ, man, no, I appreciate that really though. For me, man, it's more mentality training than it is, physical training. Like if the kids, if you don't have a confident kid, man, in sports, it's kind of hard for them to exceed any part of what they can do. You know what I mean? So, the first thing that we kind of talk about, man, is though believing in the process, man, of getting better. And that's what the get better, man, or get beat thing is all about, is that, we believe in something bigger and greater than ourselves, which is kind of what makes great teammates. You know what I mean? Though you got to be able to do all the little tangible stuff, though, man, if you want to be a solid athlete, man. And I don't think it just comes up from training. I think it comes up from home. It comes from, your parents, what they do and you know how they try to inspire, but also it is a village. You know, taking you know JoJo to see me is, you know, and man, I'm grateful because inspire, but also it is a village. You know, taking you know JoJo to see me. Yeah, so I'm blessed, y'all, man. I'm pretty much blessed, man. No, I love though what I do, man. I'm fortunate every single day though to be doing it, and I'm gonna do it though to the best of my ability.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean,
It's
even
that
though
Mamba mentality right there.
motto, the motto itself,
Facts.
though, get better or get beat, is just it. I mean, just those 4 words right there, or would you say 5, right? But
Right, yeah.
those the main 4 words, it's like,
yeah.
It, just by saying that alone, like, because today I was playing catch with JoJo, and you know he was at that point where he was kind of like, you know, wanting to go play video games or something, just be lazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, do you want to get what do you learn from Coach Mo? Like, you know, that's something that I could use for him. You know, it's like, and he said it, get better or get beat. And I was like, so what do you want to get better or do you want to get beat? And he said, I want to get better. So it totally changed his mind, frame of mind. You know, it's like you were saying, it's the mentality of everything. You know, you don't just do it just to do it, but you do it to get better. You know, and
yeah,
and that's
I mean,
that in itself is just crazy.
Remember that one?
Go
ahead.
I mean, get better, man, and get beat. I've been saying that, y'all, for as long as I can think of. Like, I've been saying that. Like, I was looking back at some old Facebook videos or something like that. I was saying that back in like 2005 or something. So I'm thinking though to myself, like, man, like what made me get on that? You know, like what was it that kind of hit me? And you know, my friends call me Moby, right? So Moby is because I'm a Kobe though fanatic, right? Like crazy Kobe. As soon as he went to Mamba and started, like when he had the game, when he, you know,
biting on his shirt
and went nuts. I said, oh man, I said, bruh. And this is after though he went through all the turmoil stuff, you know, the Colorado thing, and man, and you know what I'm saying? Because that moment, that is a moment in your head that you decide to either go right or go left. You know what I'm saying? That's where get better, man, or get beat really is, man. And the fact of the matter is that, like, he could have let that kind of moment though define him, but he decided, man, to really even go deeper into pushing harder and creating, man, that alternative alter ego person just to push himself to a new level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, that thought process kind of separated me from just wanting to be good, because I really wanted to be great. You know, Kobe always talks about getting better, man. In every single interview, man, you'll hear him talk about some sort of fashion of you know, improving or getting better or trusting the process or something, man. So meticulous, man, on those things.
Yeah.
That I just kind of gravitated to it, man, and started buying all Kobe everything, and then it just turned into Moby, man. Instead of being Mo, man, everybody started calling me Moby, and kind of stuck. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Now I know what you mean though about that alter ego too. It's kind of like when you you know that Beyonce documentary.
Yeah.
Which one it is, but she talked about how she goes into that alter ego when she steps on stage. What's her name? Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, it's like it's that same kind of thing. Like you almost become something else to just be that much greater at what you're doing. Because otherwise, if you just settle for mediocre or just being whatever, and I mean, I know I'm guilty of that, you know, but like, you know, you end up not pushing yourself as hard and just trying to go for what you can do rather than trying to take that next step.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. I mean, Clark Kent couldn't put on a new suit, man, and just be Clark Kent, man, in the suit, man. He had to be somebody else, you know, for it to make sense. You know what I mean? So I think it's super important, man, that kids got to start to understand, man, that mindset too. Like when we talk about stepping onto the field, you know, the mindset that I talked to him about is like, man, you guys got to learn that, you know, a football sport, man, is more of, you know, a lot of youth coaching is about toughness, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know how to really teach mental toughness, because as adults, we do a whole lot of quitting too, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
For a kid to really be like mentally tough, and, you know, it's a process of, you know, explaining it and kind of breaking it down to them. So, you know, having, you know, an alter ego is really though important though for sports, because you don't have to be a jerk on and off the field, but sometimes, man, to play sport the right way, man, you got to be mean, you know, and that's just part of the game. And I feel like sometimes, you know, the bigger you are, the nicer you're told to be, the littler you are, the more aggressive that you're told to be. And I just feel like, man, you got to find like a good median of both, you know, and just run with it, really.
Yep. I
So,
heard that.
in your career, you talked about high school, and then you went on to college. What college did you end up playing ball for?
So I went to MPC, which is Monterey Do Peninsula College. And then by ways of MPC, I went to Nevada, Reno, the same school as Kaepernick. I was there 2 years ahead of Cap. I played with Nate Burleson, who's my boy, who does all the ESPN talk show stuff. He does toe tap. Man, Nate is a really good dude, man, a really solid dude. And kind of a equal peer, kind of mentor type of person. You know, we played on the same team though in the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. He got drafted a year though before me and went though to the Vikings. And then I got drafted, man, a year later, man, and went though to the Bengals. And so yeah, right. And then that's kind of how the story started, man. And the reason why I feel like, man, I have this business or what I'm doing now, not necessarily, it is a business, but at the same time, man, when I got though to the league, I kind of didn't know the steps to take to keep the position that I was in. So I kind of made some irrational decisions as a young man, you know, just not really knowing how to manage my money or, you know, managing my hours of sleep and my timing and, you know, just a lot of different things that I was learning because it was my first time like out of Seaside. Like I literally left Seaside, man, at 19, you know what I mean? And not a lot of people was leaving at that time, you know what I mean? I always had a path set for the highest level, but I wasn't really prepared to keep that position when I got there because it just kind of came so naturally. It was like Monterey High, NPC, Nevada, and then the NFL. I'm like, man, like it kind of doesn't happen though for people though like that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's like I remember playing with you in high school and then seeing your path, your journey, you know, and then you was on what team did you went to first? You said it was the
Bengals.
At the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Bengals.
And then
so the Cincinnati Bengals. But Mo, man, you know, in high school, man, I had some good games, but it wasn't like I was like, you know, like people be thinking that I had some like, nah, I got better as you know.
Well, I remember in high school, basketball was your sport.
I love basketball.
Yeah.
And football just kind of came naturally because my brothers were like ahead of me and they were kind of showing me the ropes, man, of how stuff though should be done in terms of playing football. But I didn't have the best hands. I tell everybody that now. Like it took me a minute though to get used to that. To, you know, just being able to catch the ball, man, a lot of the time. But, you know, man, life is about getting better. So, you know, that's kind of what it was. Like, I've always believed in that ability, man, to improve myself, man, as long as I put in work. So
that's what's up.
I just keep putting in work.
So after your pro career, you went on to, you also played in the CFL too, right? after your
Yeah.
NFL career?
You won
Yeah.
chips in the
Yep.
CFL, didn't you? Didn't you
So I
guys?
won one championship, man, in the CFL, and you know, it was, you know, my CFL though life, man. I feel like, man, I could write a book about that one. That one was crazy, you know, because when I went up there, man, I went to the Edmonton Eskimos. I started playing up there, and then after that, it was like the tail end of the season. So I went up there to play, and then I just went nuts. Like that first little end of the season, like I went up there, man, and I was supposed to be on the practice team and not really playing, and Edmonton wasn't really that good at the time. But I went up there though with every intention of tearing somebody apart. So I went up there, I played well, and they ended up starting me though towards the end of the season. So when I went back the next season, I became all-star. And once I got all-star, I'm like, I'm going back though to the league. So I went back to the Redskins, and that was my opportunity. But my situation though with the Redskins and stuff and with the NFL was really special teams, right? Just because I didn't really want to do no special teams, like I don't want to do gunner and you know, punt return and kickoff return. I wanted to play the receiver. Yeah. And I didn't really accept that energy until I got to Canada. Like, okay, man, if I want to keep a job, I got to do more. So, so I kind of was able to just start doing more. Like, you know, I remember, you know, trying to block kicks, you know, being, you know, running down on punt. And this is towards the end of my career, like to where, you know, I kind of thought that, nah, I'm not going to do all that stuff. I'm just going to catch the ball. And that's not how it works, man. It's really about the more you can do.
Yeah, and you did a lot,
how many
man.
How many years did you have, like professionally total?
10.
10.
And then I took one off.
That's
so
pretty good.
It would have been 11 though if I'd have played all of them. But I took 1 year off. After the championship year, I took that year off because I wanted to get into coaching, and I got into coaching, but I wasn't really ready to be done. So, you know, a crazy story is I was living in Canada working. I'm sleeping in 2 gyms, right? And I'm catching a bus, jumping on the bus. Like, this is after playing, you know, pro careers, but then, you know, I'm living kind of illegally, man, in Canada, man, at the time. Right. So, I got a plan, right? You know, because I want to come home and I want to start a business that's this business, right? But I don't have any experience, man, in terms of running a business. So, you know, I met this guy by the name of, Delroy, and he runs a couple of sports-specific training facilities, man, up there. So pretty much what I did is I worked there literally from like 6 a.m. to probably like sometimes 9 o'clock at night, and I sleep there and then wake up in the morning and do it all again the whole day. Man, I had my dog with me there the whole day. I'd be making programs. I run the whole gym, the facility, taking payments, you know, everything. I mean, doing everything, man, in that building. So that was an experience, man. And I'm talking about Canada cold. Like I stayed, that was my one time I stayed though the whole year throughout, you know, and it's like 9 months of cold. You feel me? So it's like, it's intense, but it humbled me, man. It like put me in that though position of understanding, like to where I knew if I wanted something though in life, man, it was gonna be because though I worked for it, you know, man. It wasn't gonna be though because somebody had handed it to me. So I know, you know, the best, the best views in life though come though from the toughest climbs. So it was just kind of one of those things. And then my grandmother passed away, man, and then I moved home, and then that's kind of how this all like took off. Like she was the kind of the catalyst for like being like, all right, you know, it's time to go in, you know. And that was 2016 though, when I met though a lot of the people that I was already, you know, though I had known. But it took a couple years to really get the ball rolling.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Where do you see your business in the next 5 years? Do you think you're going to expand, or you're going to stay out here in the 831? You're going to try to expand and make it bigger? Or
so as long as I've been here, I've been I've played and I've left and I've come back, right? So there's kids that come up to me and was like, Mo, man, I went to your first camp in 2007. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's hard to kind of even to remember the faces though, because it was so long ago.
Mm.
And what I always don't envision is having something that, you know, was scalable, something that I could have and still be able to wiggle around, you know what I mean? Still be able to help other people, man, in different areas. So I never see this going away though, in terms of the A31. Whether I'm here or not, it's like I'm grooming, you know, the people to live, you know, in that rare air though, right behind me. So a lot of my athletes, you know, I'm praying get the same opportunity and then want to come back and give back to it. So yeah, for now, a couple years into it, you know, my oldest of kids are you know, in college now. So
yeah.
I don't quite have anyone that's made it though to the highest level yet, except for Poppy and you know, and you know, a few other random, you know, athletes and stuff like that. But in terms of this grooming of crop, I'm trying to create a product that lasts out here though forever. You know, taught the right way, you know, skilled the right way, and kind of always about, man, the A31 first. So 5 years from now, I really expect it to be much bigger, and I expect it to be global though by 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's what's up. You gonna take over the Herm Edwards camp like how we used to do back in the day when we was kids,
man,
right?
for sure, man. But even you know, no knock on Herm because he did a great job. But I want to do it, man, even bigger, man. Like I you know, I want it to be something that, you know, kids never ever don't forget about, and more so about learning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We went out there, man. We have fun. I was one of the first MVPs of that camp. I feel like the first time, man, I went out there was like the first one, and I got like the, you know, the MVP. Well, the first or second camp, and I got one of the, you know, the most valuable players. And then I kind of decided, like, in those moments, like, man, I love football, like I really do. But now I feel like for our area, we're not doing a good job of breaking down the little details of how to play the game and for it still to be fun, you know, and giving everyone a chance to play. So the high school ball is better, you know. I think we spend so much time that we do a good job of daddy ball, man, in our area. I swear we do, right? And somebody may be mad over that, but it is though what it is.
Yeah,
you know. It is though what it is, right? Because the goal is to, man, improve this talent and give, you know, coaches something though to really look for, man, though when they come though to our area. And I know I'm doing a good job of getting kids ready to go for college, but I feel like there's so many more kids out there that just don't know that they could play at the next level. Which they need to know, because I mean, baseball got it, so why not football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hear the football scene out here. I hear, like, all I hear throughout the years, all the different complaints about the different leagues, and when people jump from one to the other, there's always something, and it's kind of a lot of what I hear is that kind of stuff. Man, so and so don't want to let nobody play, or you know what I mean, like things like that. And I mean, even on the baseball side of things too, you know, because I you know, I coach baseball, and I mean, I know a couple weeks ago we had kind of touched on that and the differences between rec and travel, and me really feeling like in rec ball, like there's just a lot of kids nowadays that they're not really into the sport. But then at the same time, it's like it's almost like the parents are just putting them in it to just drop them off and give them something to do. And it's like, you know, as somebody who's trying to help other kids get better at what they're doing, like, what's your take on something like that, where, you know, we're focused on a drill, and then you have these two kids all the time they're behind you messing around or in the back of the line, like
the kids don't actually want to be there. They're just there because they've been dropped off there. They've been put in the sport just to be part of the sport, and everyone is part of the team. There's no tryouts, but there's actually a group of kids who want to play. There's a group of kids who want to actually learn and progress in their game. But then,
you have those distractions from those other kids.
I feel like though at the youth level, man, it's all about character, right? It's more so to teach people how to cooperate and get along and concentrate and be consistent. And it's about being encouraged. So for the kids, man, that don't want to necessarily be there or get dropped off, though, it's kind of about just getting them to understand, the process of believing in something still, even though they don't really respect it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be prepared to buy into something if you want to be successful. And that's not like we don't always like our job, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to pay the rent, man, you got to understand, like, sometimes, man, you got to accept the challenges that you may not like at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and for kids though, it's like you have to really break it down into incentives for kids that don't want to be there. So incentively, like, yo, if you can focus for this amount of time, like, this is our reward. Like, if you could just do your part, this is what we could be successful and have as a group. Like, even if you don't really like it that much, just understand that the outcome, it's balanced. Like, if you could just focus on on these couple of tasks, if let's just say, man, one kid just doesn't want to do nothing at all. But I'm like, well, like how about if you can be the best, right fielder and really just focus on these three things. You know what I mean? Whenever you get the ball, throw it to the second baseman and such and such, right? And if you can follow these three steps, I'll reward you with what every single time the ball comes to you. So all you gotta do is grab the ball, throw it to the second baseman, make the job simple instead of kind of overdoing all the stuff like you would a quarterback. You got to tell a quarterback more than you have to tell the running back, because his responsibility though is bigger. And that's what kind of sports are about, though. It's responsibilities, and it shows through from home to work. You know what I mean? If you're a person that doesn't really do chores at home and doesn't really take responsible of your task at home, how you gonna bring your kid to my practice and expect me to be able to tell him to do something that you don't even ask him to do at all? You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. I know that was always something that I try to encourage all my players and parents is to, you're not going to get better just coming to practice a couple times a week. You have to do it something every day, whether
it's accountability,
like
right?
For 10 minutes, stuff like that. Cause you're not getting it. You can't. And I explained this to JoJo earlier too. We don't take you to these coaches and pay these coaches to teach you something for you to come home and then not follow it and do whatever you feel like doing. You have to continuously do things the right way that you're taught. Otherwise, we're going to keep taking you back there. And every time it's going to be the same result. You're going to be learning the same thing over and over. Whereas as long as you focus on keeping your mechanics in this way, the next time you go back, you're going to learn something more and get better. It's that same kind of thing,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, look, if I have a football team and I'm the head coach and my team loses, it's my loss. It's on me. It's my responsibility. What a lot of coaches do now is they point the finger at the kids and make it their responsibility. That's not right. Another thing that we do as parents is that, you know, a lot of parents will expect their kids to play, but instead of investing in the proper training, they'll invest in shoes, you know what I mean, or some fancy cleats, you know what I'm saying, or a new baseball bat or something, and the kid don't know how to use it. You're like, fool, why are you buying them that stuff if they don't even know what to do with it? You know what I mean? So we look at it so backwards, because though when the coaches get there, like, bro, I need to put in plays, like I need to get us ready for the game. Your kid should know how to tackle before he got here, right? Unless that is in the program. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, like in this, you know, in the standards of what we're teaching for a football team. Okay, I'm gonna teach him how to tackle. I'm gonna teach him how to block. I'm gonna teach him how to catch the ball. That's all off-season stuff. Like, yo, you're supposed to be working on with your kid prior to getting them practice, and then you showing up expecting me to just be able to do all that stuff. No, I can't do it. I don't have time for all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As coaches.
And that was kind of why I had made that point about the difference between travel ball and rec ball. Because I mean, even still in rec ball, like the kid should know how to at least catch a ball or throw or whatever, especially once you get to, like, if you don't know how to catch or throw in what we would say Shetland, like the 5, 6, 7, 8 level,
that's cool.
That's dismissible. That's cool. But once you get into that 9, 10 and beyond, if you don't have those basics, those basic fundamentals, like why are you here? You know, like, and I don't want to discourage it, but the parents got to be doing what they need to do in order to have the kid ready. Because, you know, you got this kid over here that might throw, like, you know, let's just say at a 10-year-old level, he might be able to throw 45 miles an hour. But if the kid can barely catch, what's going to happen? You know, someone's going to get hurt. You know, even balls coming off the bats, they're going to come off at like 40, 50 miles an hour. And if a kid is trying to, you know, and sometimes parents expect their kids to start and get all the playing time and be in a premium position when they are nowhere near ready. But then you know, I'm gonna put this kid right here in the infield, and all of a sudden he gets a shot right to him and he's not even ready for it. Like,
he has no idea what to do.
Asking for
hey,
trouble.
You can get hurt, right? You know.
Yeah, nah, you can definitely get hurt. And then, you know, if we're not planning to prepare, we're preparing to fail. Like, that's the simplest thing that could be explained. So no matter what it is, like, we're in the age of information. There's no possible way that you cannot figure out how to go online and tell your kid how to throw a ball now. Like, there's so many instructional videos, there's so much out there, but people will not spend any time. They'll literally just focus on signing the kid up and dropping them off and expecting an outcome on Sunday. And I'm like, man, like, that's never going to be the case. Like, the best and the greatest men of athletes, like Larry Fitzgerald, let's just, speaking of him, right? His dad was a coach, though, for the Minnesota Vikings. So what he see his whole entire life, football is being caught. You know what I'm saying? Like all he's focused on for his whole entire being is catching the football. This dude got more tackles as a receiver than he has drops in his whole career.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he's lived, like, he's relived that thought process of applying this into making something so great, you know, through the process of repetition, and also just being around something though all the time. So, like, you know, for baseball players, my favorite baseball player locally is JJ Del Sherrill, and I've watched JJ since I was a kid, and he could hit the ball, man, no, out of the park, lefty and righty, but his dad pushed him, right? Another big influence is EJ Rowland, Big Earl, man. He rest in peace. He pushed EJ. They like, these kids have worked their entire lives to get to that position of where they are now, and it shows. You know what I mean? It shows through their character and through how they play and through their understanding and game knowledge and now how they live their lives. And just period. You know what I mean? Through sport. So sport is important though for every kid. It's just the character issues that the parents need to instill as the kid is growing up, right? Always being coachable is the most important thing though to me. A coachable kid is always gonna play. I don't care. Always gonna play.
I feel you. Those are the ones that I pick.
Facts.
If you're coachable, then you're on my team. I don't care how good you are or not. Like, I'll help you get better as long as you're coachable. But if you could be the best kid out there, but if you're not coachable, like I'd rather not. You could go play somebody else's team.
Yeah, right? Your talent, talent level is gonna exceed at some kiddie level, man. There's gonna be one kid that's just a knucklehead that's just super good, and you can't get him off the field. You're like, man, it's gotta make it work. But if we can turn that kid into understanding, it comes top down. So the parents, you know what I mean? Like, we need to talk to the parents though, man, though, sometimes more. Like, these meetings and these conversations need to be for the parents more than it almost is for the kids, because their understanding of what they have, the possibility is too great, man. Like, any kid could be anything they want to be, man. But it's really about, giving that kid a chance to, win and lose, but still understand though the learning lesson in every victory and loss. And if you get kids though to really get to that point, sports is life.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are some of your biggest musical influences that helped you to get to where you're at right now?
Believe it or not, when I was in Canada, I was just getting up there. I feel like, man, like one of the biggest influences, which is crazy. I just want to be successful. Like when that stuff was playing, and Bullets Ain't Got No Name on it, the old Nipsey stuff.
That Success was on. That's you're talking about that Drake and Trey song one, right?
Drake, yeah. So Drake was a big influence though growing up. At that time of me, like in that mindset, like, man, like I'm about to get back into the league, and I'm about to, I'm going for 1,500 yards to throw this year. In that mindset, like I'm about to be, like any time of inspirational music, man, though, like that. Jay-Z at that time is super important. Mac Dre, of course, because I'm from the area, man, and everything going hypey. And, I was, there wasn't always that many Northern California athletes. So whenever the Bay Area stuff happened, though, we was on top of the world. Like we was on top of the world, though, man. Hearing any Bay Area song and don't any locker room. No, I turned it all the way up. So yeah, man, I love the R&B vibe too, man, especially now. Danny Lay, those my boo. You know what I'm saying? Danny Lay.
You would have to fight Neato for her, man. Neato would be loving him some Danny Lay.
That's right.
Yeah, Neato know what's up.
Yeah, we got good taste, see?
Facts, man. So yeah, I feel like those were some of my biggest influences, man. I love Mozzie, man. I love all the West Coast rap, man. I love the YG and
what about local artists?
The local artists.
Who you rocking with local artists right now?
I'm a Flood. I'm a Flood God favorite. All right,
shout out to the Flood God.
Water. You already know. Wild Bill. Steve's just dropped a fire track, man. I just heard, man. I missed his live though, man, because I was.
Yeah, we had the live with DJ Neato the other night, man. He had it lit.
Fire.
A lot of love on that, man. A lot of love. Big shout out to Steve's.
Yeah,
we gonna have
Steve.
Steve's on. We gonna have Steve's on the 360 Chop Shop pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Good. Yeah, Steve's is my guy. Caesar, man, there's so many good artists, man, though in the area, man. Though I can't even. I mean, we got a lot of talent. You already know. Man, it's crazy.
So who do you be rocking in your headphones when you have your workout time? I know you are working out with a lot of people. You always training, but when you training yourself, who's rocking in your headphones? Who's on your playlist?
Man, so if I had to say right now, 9 times out of 10, man, it's either Nipsey or Mozzie, right? It's one of the two, man. I'm listening to those two guys a lot. It's a lot of storytelling music though for me, man. I like to hear, I like to hear people go through struggles, man, because that's kind of how I was built up. Just dealing with a different kind of Seaside. I feel like back in the day, a different element of people. I feel like they kind of have gentrified a very softer Seaside for our time now, and a lot of the kids are really fortunate now because a lot of them would have been slapped every day. I feel like a lot of people didn't want to really run into like the Watto back in the day, or like Tony. Like, we don't really have them type of people like really walking around the street anymore.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of kids now they a little bit softer, you know what I mean? Which is different, you know what I mean? But
it was cutthroat back in the day though.
It was cutthroat.
Yeah, Broadway
especially out there,
Broadway
like
was real. San Pablo area,
Yep.
Come on, Soto, like man, the 1800 block of Soto, man, it was like streetlights or else, like literally. So,
it's a whole new generation nowadays.
Even Fort Ord, like we grew up with like hearing bombs and shit in Fort Ord, seeing people on the freeway at Target practice.
People don't know
you know
that.
What I mean?
People don't know that now, for real. People don't know, like literally hearing bombs though.
Yeah.
Like,
on a Saturday morning, just like what?
Boom. Yeah, like crazy, man.
Even at night, I remember you seeing them flying through the air at night because I live right there on Hilby, right by Highland, and every night you'd see the little red shots going up in the air, and you're boom,
Yeah, I mean, we gotta. I mean, we're blessed though to be able to have this area. I do. I really feel like though people from here are different than anywhere else. More than there's people that have gone on and done some amazing things, just coming from this little area, man. And I can't really though describe it or what it is that makes people from the E04 so different. But one. If people know us from somewhere else, they'd be like, "Oh, you from C? Like you from the E04? Like Seaside? Like they'll know quickly. You know what I mean? Because we're just a different breed of people. Like, so
that water. It's that water out here.
It's that water flood. Facts.
That's
man.
right there. That's that classic throwback.
Shout out to A-Steez.
Sport coat, what up?
Yeah.
Hey, that was my shit when I moved out to Orange County for a little bit. I was just slapping that shit all the time.
Yeah, man.
And the anthem for the city.
Hell yeah, he put on for the city with that song.
Man, big time, man.
I told Steve you got to perform that one day. He's like, all right.
Did he do it?
He didn't do it during the live, but he said for the next one, he'll get it right.
When Steve's got on live, he did 4 songs, but we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him live, where he's gonna do a whole catalog.
Okay,
we're gonna make him.
Let me tell you one of my favorite people in Seaside, like rapping wise. Well, my dog, Hey,
Yeah,
when he
what's up,
drops
man?
stuff, bro, I'll be like, okay, man, let me hear it. Let me hear what's going on real quick, because I'm telling you, man, he's got such a charismatic approach to rapping that I love it, man. I swear, man, he's like too smooth, man.
Yeah, he
I
just
love
dropped
it,
that
man.
one video, that new video. What's that new video he just dropped?
He gotta drop that ASAP.
Yeah, he dropped that new video. He got the brand new what it used to be corking bottle with Seaside Liquors now.
Man, that video, man, that was so hard, man. I seen a snippet of that.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, man, that's just so, man, we got so much talent, man, right? My favorite music video of all time is Fast Life. If it ain't about a knot, then I'm not. That's my favorite. Probably my favorite video, man, of all time.
Shout out to Fast Life.
Shout out to the Fast Life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Belly be doing this thing too, man. I love Belly. All my guys, man. I love it, man. You know what I'm saying?
T-Raw, yeah.
Man, my guy.
One thing about you, Mo, I always know you always show love to everybody. You know, that everybody that's putting on for the hood, you always showing love. Shout out to the Gurr gang. You know, shout out to you put on for the Gurr gang, you know, EJ.
Thanks.
And
Mo always got his
my God, EJ Oski.
Yeah, you know, you're putting it on for Side Effects, you know, Oos Juice, you know, you showing love to everybody, you know, everybody, all the local, whatever it is that they're doing, you know, you see that they are grinding and you are right there to support them. And, you know, we just want to, you know, acknowledge that and how much love and support that you put in for the community, and just for the hood, period, you know, and just giving back and just making a positive influence, man. So big up to you.
Thanks, bro.
Big up to you on that. And with this whole COVID-19 thing, we just heard that they extended the shelter in place till the end of May, right? May 31st is what they extended to.
31st. Yep.
So, you know, we know you had your gym. Now you got your gym set up in your backyard. And man, you got a nice setup in your backyard, man. You're not afraid to show it, too.
Man, appreciate it.
That's legit. But I know you're used to working in like big group settings. So how's it go from like working with teams and then going, you know, at a mass multitude at a time and then going to like one-on-one training, you know, because, you know, you're involved with a lot of other local teams in the youth sports and everything. And they all come to you when they want that get better, get beat training, you know, but how are you able to cope with that and with your clients?
It's been tough, honestly, though. We were just like, I mean, it was just popping. It was just getting ready to boom. Like, we had so many teams training with us, me and T, like, to where we were starting to turn down, you know, a couple of opportunities to train other teams because we just had so many. Shout out though July, you know, shout out, man, though Marina, though Elite Basketball.
Shout out to Marina,
you know,
Elite.
All my guys.
July, we see you.
Appreciate you, brother, man. No, July, Mo, you guys have always been right in my corner, man. No, I swear though I appreciate y'all. You know, with this thing, man, that's kind of happened now. Man, let me be smart about my answers too, man. It's tough, right? I can't really explain it because we've never been through anything like this stuff though before, right? I mean, the last time, man, they did the shelter in place was 1912 or some crazy stuff though, like
1918 when they had the influenza.
1918, the Spanish flu, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really speak much for it besides the fact that I don't really know how to slow down. You know, I don't really know how to stop or to cut off what my brain and my heart and what God pushes me to do. You know what I mean? So we've been working hard on creating the online platform. I've been working hard on just to fix the nonprofit and to get the you know, the online, you know, all the stuff, all the T's and, you know, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Like, it's really giving me, though, an opportunity to really improve the structure of my business, which has been the toughest part to it altogether. Because right now I've really been working off of like word of mouth. I don't really want to see your kid unless your kid wants to see me. You know, and a lot of parents don't really understand that, because due to the fact that it's not a right. You know what I mean? Like it's not your right to train though with me. It's an opportunity. It's it's a gift, right? Because I don't require to train anyone. It's not like it ain't mandatory. Like I can turn away anyone I don't feel like is really right though for the program though at the time. You know, not forever, but just due to the fact of the matter is like COVID-19, you know, has increased a lot of demand for training, but it has also the ramifications of me getting in trouble for training may be real eventually. But right now, you know, the police are really laxed about, you know, what's going on, man, in our area. And I feel like there's an agenda to that, but you know, I'm not gonna elaborate, man, on that part.
Well, you know, something that I kind of found out or read through with the new shelter in place for May was like recreational type of summer camps and recreational camps and things like that I guess that you can have up to like 12 kids, no more than 12 or less, with like one coach. But like it's recommended the coach wear like a face mask, and kids like are suggested to, you know, or recommended to wear those too. But like I guess it's something that's to provide that type of, I guess, recreation or camp for parents that are like essential workers and things like that. So I think that I was reading somewhere in there where that part of it is in the new shelter in place.
It's allowed now?
It is allowed. Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's so many new rules and so much stuff coming out. It's kind of hard to even keep up though at times too, right? Because there's always some new law, and then, you know, we're still running. Like we still have days to where we're still outside, you know, and one police officer coming to me and tell me one thing, and the next police officer 2 hours later come and tell me something else, and then the next person to come and tell me, you know, what the first dude said, and then some of what the second dude said. And I'm like, okay, well, you're telling me these stipulations are this and this, and now you're telling me this is this, and now it's 6 feet to 12 feet, now it's mask. And so you know, me, EJ, Mo, I just stay in my lane, man. Like, you know, when I get the news passed down, I follow all the rules, you know what I mean? But, you know, I need set rules. You know, I need someone to tell me exactly what's going on though for everything to make sense. Otherwise, it's kind of hard for me to, you know, abide by stuff that's kind of flimsy. You know, like winning championships, man, ain't won off of flimsy rules, man. So
and see, and
well,
I heard.
I'll go ahead, Alan.
I heard that like there's like even confusion between the cities and the counties. Like the mayors of like Seaside or whatever PG were like telling the county, like, dude, you're not giving us the info fast enough, so we're not even doing what we're supposed to be doing because they're not getting the information from the county like directly. So everything's all jacked up right now. I feel like
everything is jacked up. The numbers are off.
Yep.
You know,
the county, the new well, right here in regards to what the county put out, it's child care establishments, summer camps, and other educational or recreational institutes or programs providing care or supervision for children of all ages that enable owners, employees, volunteers, and contractors for essential businesses, minimum basic operations, healthcare operations, essential infrastructure, or essential government functions to work as allowed under this order. To the extent possible, programs must operate under the following conditions. They must be carried out in stable groups of 12 or fewer. Stable means that the same 12 or fewer children are in the same group each day. Children
Yeah.
shall not change from one group to another. If more than one group of children is cared for at one facility, each group shall be in a separate room. Groups shall not mix with each other. And yeah, that's pretty
EJ,
much.
who making these rules, man? Who the hell is who's deciding
This is the Monterey County Health Officer.
That's what I'm
The new
saying. Who
shelter
are
in place
you? What?
order.
Who decide how does he get to decide all this stuff, man?
Yeah.
We don't get no vote. We don't get no
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah,
no sort of-
exactly.
there's
No,
no
but I
sort
mean,
of conversation. Is there a town hall meeting or something that we can sit in and listen about this shit? Like, excuse my language. I mean, I'm like, man.
I think it's the county board, I guess, right?
We're the supervisors, I think.
But
I don't even know.
I feel you because I mean that's the thing too where it's confusing. And the only reason why I kind of found out about it was because NCTB, the travel, one of the travel ball organizations that we play in, they just put out some about their camp, that the baseball camp they're doing this week. And they basically stated how they're working with law enforcement to ensure that they're following the rules of the new shelter in place. And the rules, basically they limit each age group to 12 kids or fewer. And then all the coaches have to wear face masks, and the kids the way that they're setting up the camps is they're going to have the social distancing of 6 feet, and they're sanitizing baseballs between each session or each handling of a baseball. And they're recommending kids 13 and older, or they're requiring kids 13 and older to wear a face mask and recommend it for kids under 13.
So EJ, man, no,
it's crazy.
So we're only gonna have like four baseballs at the practice or something, or what?
Yeah. and you got to wash them after every time.
Well, and then they also said that they're gonna be making sure the kids are washing their hands. So like they're gonna wash their hands, and then let's just say they're playing catch. They go wash their hands. Nah, they're gonna go wash their hands, play catch, and then after they're done playing catch, sanitize the baseball, wash your hands again, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I would think of. But I mean, like I just saw some earlier too, because I'm also, in this little travel ball group on Facebook, and they were showing, I think it was out in Georgia, that their kids are already starting to practice baseball out there. And they showed how they were, social distancing, but then at the same time, you're still making contact with that baseball. So
you're still making contact with the baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they have to do something to make sure that they still have. And now hear my words. If there's no NFL season, the world is ending.
Hey, that's real.
I'm telling you.
That's real.
If there's no NFL season, bruh, and untaxed, that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money to somebody. Somebody's not gonna be happy about that. All right.
Oh yeah. Well, shoot, even Little League canceled the Little League World Series for the year. Like, there's no Little League World Series this year.
No Cooperstown. No Cooperstown. Oh man.
Nope. Well, no Williamsport. But there still may be some travel ball tournaments out there in Cooperstown, but Williamsport out there too, where they hold that World Series.
When I heard how much Cooperstown made off of that event last year, I'm like, oh my goodness, like they're gonna be hot if something like that happens.
What do you think about athletes now that are like saying, like they're bypassing NCAA and they're going straight, like you got dudes going straight to the G League, you got number one basketball recruit going straight to the G League, you got people going overseas, and because they can't make money in the NCAA and off their brand.
Yeah. I think they gotta fix that, and I feel like the NCAA will eventually. This is crazy though. This is, the whole California letting athletes make money off their likeness is nuts. Because that inserts agents, and that inserts, opportunities that kids in college, have never been exposed to, so I don't really fault a kid for skipping college and creating a bill, whether they're on scholarship or not, skipping college to go straight though to the league, because you can still attain a degree, but the likelihood of your body being prepared for 20, 30 years of sport, if you're ready, then you should take that chance. Like Zion, like he had to go. He could not play another year at Duke because, the risk for injury to reward based off what he'd be making is way too crazy. You know what I mean? So you can't, there's no way that he could have stayed in there to play another 4 to do what Jordan did technically. Like, I'm gonna play all 4 years and get better. And nah, the contracts are way too large now. The endorsement deals, it's such a social game. Like, you can get on social media and Zion could, each post, man, he makes his $20,000 because of, his number of followers and shit. So,
crazy.
I just think the business side of it is too big and too important though for families now.
Yeah, especially with the economy too, like everything.
Yeah. And
Gas
where
cheap,
they're finding these kids. The economy, this, our economy in terms of small business, this is definitely hurting on my business.
Tell me about it.
This is definitely a big slap in the face, man, in terms of business. But I made it, through 2007's version of this, which is the real estate version of making our economy trash. And they did a good job of that one. America did, of making our economy trash during that time. So I just feel like, man, though, we all just gotta be smart about it, and work together. Really, I mean, these small businesses are gonna need help, and
what's I mean, I don't know if this is something you could speak on or whatever, but in terms of like the clubhouse, like you guys just moved everything over to that other spot,
man.
A couple months later, it's like we can't be in there no more.
Yeah, big hit, and they have some stuff that could help out, you know what I mean? But you really got to be diligent in figuring out what the government is doing to try to help you. And then if there's if there's some sort of policy that's saying, okay, well, we gave you this, so now you got to pay back this, and knowing all types of stuff. So
all that fine print.
Yeah, all that fine print, all them little words, man, at the bottom. So, it's this world is crazy, man. So we just got to continue, man, to just keep pushing forward. Really, I feel like everything will eventually get back to the way it's supposed to be, in some certain extent. But this is just something that we got to deal with though from now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So that's about our time. We're gonna wrap things up. But man, Mo, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Man, for real.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all having me, brother.
We spoke on some good things today. Hope some people that tuned in is gonna be enlightened by what you bring to the table. So where can people follow you at?
Follow me at Get Better or Get Beat, man. We got the website coming out soon, right? We support athletes though, man. If you buy a t-shirt, man, though, all that money goes to supporting your local athlete though, to the kids, man, that can't get that chance to go do something. So that's what we're all about. Get Better, Get Beat. Follow me on that Instagram, whatever, just type that in and you can find me.
There it is.
There you go.
Maurice Mann.
Mo, thank you, man. You're inspiration.
Thank you so much
to everyone
for
out
tuning
here,
in,
man.
Thank you so much for
Appreciate
being with us.
you guys, man.
Peace and love, man.
Hey, man, it's all love, fellas.
All right, man.
Have a
Till
good
next time, brother.
All right, bro.
All right.
Peace.
Mo, you want to close this out real quick?
Yeah. That is our time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 360 Chop Shop Podcast. My name is DJ Khosmo, Knockzilla, Alan the Alias, and we got DJ Neato in the building. Of course,
Yeah.
big up to our special guest, Maurice Mann. Make sure you follow him. Get better or get beat. Yes, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Make
All
sure you
right, y'all.
follow us.
Peace.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We will be streaming this episode live on Anchor. We will be streaming it live on SoundCloud as well as Spotify. And of course, you could run it back on the Facebook Live, and you can run it back, of course. Just run it back. All right, y'all. We are done for the night. Thank y'all so
All
much
right.
for tuning in to the 360 Chop Shop Podcast. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.